There's a scam game on Steam right now called Banana that has over 630,000 players as of me making this video right now, and it is by all definitions a scam. And that player count is pretty misleading because the majority of it is either bots or people that just have the game pulled up in the background as they wait for drops. The Spiffing Brit just made a great video going over this entire scam, and now 3 days after that video came out, it's even more popular than it was when he covered it back then. Which is so interesting to me because he fully explained how the scam works, and yet people are still just flooding in to enthusiastically buy into it. It's like if you had read the headlines about Sam Bankman-Fried like scamming billions of dollars away from just your average Joe, and then you're like, alright, I'm gonna do my business with Sam Bankman-Fried, I can't wait to get on this, and then you throw your arms up in the air like, oh, how did I lose money? Where did I go so wrong? It's more pathetic than anything, honestly. The Spiffing Brit took the scam, spanked it around, threw it on the bed, bare ass, butt cheeks in the air, and still people dove in to give it a rim job and are wondering why they have shit on their mouths now and lost money from it. You have only yourself to blame, and you absolutely deserve to be made fun of, which is what I'm here to do. Heroes, not a word I like to use often, but I think what I'm doing here today is very heroic and brave. Someone has got to insult you for what you have done, if you are one of these people that are buying the fucking bananas in this game. It's not a game, it's actually just a PNG of a banana that you click and the number will go up, and every few hours you'll get a random drop. If you play anything on Steam, you know what this is, like CSGO cases, that kind of thing. But in the banana game, you get banana skins, which aren't even usable in the game. There's actually no functionality to even take that skin and use it in the game. The developer says he's going to do that at some point, but I highly doubt it because he doesn't need to. He's still just printing money from this dog shit from the absolute imbeciles, the fucking idiot buffoons that are buying into it. So why would he even bother doing that bare minimum? So what you do is you get these drops of these banana skins, and they just go into your inventory and they sit there collecting dust. And then you get out all your religious relics, light some candles, and start fucking praying that someone is going to pay you real-world money for those useless banana images in your inventory. That's it. This should ring some bells here because it's very similar in concept to the NFT craze from a few years ago, where basically you buy this image and you hope that someone comes along down the line and buys that image from you for more than what you spent on it. You don't want to be left holding the bag. It's the same concept in the banana game, except this one's working significantly better because they found much more vulnerable goobers here. Gamers. So the gamers here are buying these banana skins for up to like $50. There's actually even $1,000 banana skins in this game. And I need to stop calling them skins because they're not. It's just images in your inventory. You can't even do anything with them even if you wanted to. So you're buying these banana images from Google Images, and you are squatting on them, hoping that for some reason down the line, someone's going to pay you more for that, just because. That's the entire scam in a nutshell, and the creator is the one making tons and tons of money from it.
The banana market is immense. There are nearly 8 full pages of deep banana lore. Some of things are definitely slightly legally dubious, but the idea is very simple. As you play the game, Steam has an automatic drop system. The Icy Nana is special because it doesn't drop anymore. Wow! So logically, by it not dropping anymore, that actually increases the value of the product, because there's scarcity. However, no one has managed to sell an Icy Banana for more than 3 pence on the Steam market. Now, one of the reasons that makes me a little bit more concerned that this is a scam is because the creator of this game has set their inventory to private when it was previously public. This is a little bit of a problem because it means that it is impossible to see how many bananas hitting the marketplace are actually from them, meaning it's very hard to tell just how much Steam wallet value they're able to make off of this game.
Definitely worth noting that it's very possible the developer is dumping his bananas into the market, and it's not actually the community buying other community members' bananas, they're actually just buying his. So he's making even more. I'm not trying to accuse him of anything shady. I mean, banana is as above board and by the book as it gets. Now, it's impossible to know just how much they've made from this game so far, but I have to imagine with over 600,000 active players, it's a pretty penny. And there are legitimate people, like actual living, breathing, sentient beings that are purchasing some of the expensive bananas. Like, there's this one guy on Twitter who keeps celebrating that he bought one of the special bananas for $53. I don't know if he bought it as a shit post or if he actually believes he's going to make some money off of it or not, but regardless, that is shameful. And he's not alone. There are some banana enthusiasts that I think, actually believe in this for some reason. Now, the main players of this game, no one's actually playing it because there's nothing to play. Calling banana a game is like calling me jerking off a sport. Like, yeah, it's kind of a physical activity, but I don't think there's any real argument you can make for me being an athlete because I masturbate, right? Same thing with banana. It's technically a game, I suppose, but all the people that are engaging with it are doing is running it in the background, farming drops, or having bots do it, where they open many different instances of banana in order to try and get as many chances at a rare banana drop as possible, which is why the player count is so high. Everyone loves to think that they're 5 steps ahead of everyone else. They're the fucking anime protagonist. No one else had the genius scheme to conceive such a high-level mastermind idea of using an auto-clicker and virtual machines to open multiple instances of banana to get maximum banana drop potential. Everyone that's opening this godforsaken program is doing that exact same fucking thing. And I guess none of them realize that all of those rare banana drops that are going for like tens or even hundreds of dollars in some cases are unobtainable through playing the game right now. You can't get them no matter how many virtual machines you open. You could start up an entire fucking, like, crypto mining operation just for playing banana and looking for Steam drops, and you would never see one, because it's not possible to get them anymore. I just had a voice crack. This shit is so ridiculous. The only way you get those now is if you're the developer. That seems to be it. From what I can tell, there is no evidence of any normal human being outside of the developer and his close-knit group of friends having access to those rare bananas. So to all the delusional crypto bros who got burned on NFTs and are now just suffering from terminal fear of missing out and latching onto banana, you are wasting your time and you're probably losing more money on your electricity bill just setting up your stupid little operations to farm this. You cannot make money through this game, just like you cannot get a date. It's just not happening. The only thing you can do, I suppose, is continue to get fucked by this weirdo developer as you're his little piggy bank to continue to exploit through this awful dog shit. I've said for a while now, people seem to want to be scammed. People go out of their way to get scammed. This is so blatant. And Spiffing Brit did an incredible video showcasing it, and yet it's more popular now than ever, and it only continues to get more popular. That's craziness. You know it's a scam, you're still buying into it. Now, I have seen a lot of discussion about how this game may be being used by other countries whose economies aren't doing so well, and I do suppose that's possible. We've seen that happen in the past with Venezuela and RuneScape, for example. Venezuela's economy wasn't doing great, and so a lot of individuals there started turning to farming gold in RuneScape to sell for money, and that became like full-time professions. But I just don't really see that being the case for this game. In RuneScape, you can make a lot of money just farming the gold in old-school RuneScape. In Banana, you can't. The only banana images that are selling, mainly, are like the 3-cent ones, because that's all you can actually really get from drops from what I can tell. So the only things that have any real volume to them are the 3-cent skins, not so much like the rare skins. So to me it just seems very unlikely that something similar will happen here because it's 3-cent banana images that you're moving and not even all that often because the drops come at very long intervals. So it's not even something that you could really make a lot out of even if you had hundreds of bots running it. So I don't really see that being the case. I could be very wrong about that, but one thing I'm not wrong about is how much of a cringe loser you have to be to actually think that these are wise investments. If you are someone that is buying and selling banana Steam inventory images, you deserve to be spit on, 100%. Hey, this is just tough love right here, brother. I'm trying to get through to you. Please, open up. Let me in. This is an intervention. If you are buying and selling fucking banana images in this goddamn game, you are a loser, 100%, and you need to take a hard look in the mirror. This is just another terrible scam game. It's not even that unique in its scam. A lot of these style of games popped up during the NFT craze on Steam, and those all dwindled and died, of course, and I imagine this one will too when people start to realize that farming 3-cent banana skins is just not worth it at all. And buying $50 banana skins is certainly not worth it when no one's looking to buy them ever again. It's a fucking joke. It's a terrible, terrible joke that the creator's making a ton of money off of from people speculating on the market of banana images in a Steam inventory. So yeah, I just had to talk about this because it's so fucking interesting that it's only growing in popularity even after being fully exposed for the scam that it is. But anyway, that's it. So yeah. Who is the biggest joke in all of sports? Some people might argue the Washington Generals, which is the team that the Harlem Globetrotters always play against. They travel together and the Harlem Globetrotters always win against them, because the Generals are just there to have fun with the Globetrotters in order to make a spectacle out of the whole thing. They're kind of designed to lose. But they're not the biggest joke in sports. That honor belongs to one man in particular. His name is Dillon Danis. This goofball is someone you might have heard of because he's that coward that started a lot of shit with KSI, and then the second that it reached the fuck around and find out moment, like a week before they were actually supposed to fight, Dillon Danis backs out and weasels his way out of it, coming up with all kinds of pathetic little excuses, and then still tries to act tough. He's a washed up fighter who all he does now is just shit talk and then promotes scams on Twitter. People have more respect for the flies that hover around public porta potties at a fucking music festival than they do this man and his career. And yet somehow he finds a way to sink even lower. He was recently the primary clown in CoffeeZilla's newest video, where he got used like a fleshlight by CoffeeZilla in order to prove a point that Dillon Danis will promote absolutely anything at all as long as you pay him. And it turns out you don't even really have to pay him that much, all things considered. Just giving him a pack of cigarettes will get you like a 24-hour tweet promoting whatever vile scam you want. Like, it's actually pretty wild. So CoffeeZilla's video exposes at least 20 scams that he's done in his past, as well as convincing him to do yet another one. You know, hop back in the saddle, get ready for the rodeo, and engage in another scam tweet that CoffeeZilla cooked up with a completely fake crypto project. And he wanted to see how much does Dillon charge, and does he do any amount of research at all into the things that he proudly posts on his Twitter. I know Dillon Danis can't even spell research, so the answer isn't shocking. It's a no. He didn't bother looking into what CoffeeZilla was paying him to promote at all, because if he did, if he spent even 3 seconds, or even just like an iota of a thought given to the project, he would have immediately realized that it's not real and it is a scam that he's about to post proudly on his Twitter. Because CoffeeZilla laid it all out in front of him. And it's not even like it was hidden in plain sight or anything. He literally spelled it out, word for word. In a contract he sent to Dillon Danis, it even says that it's not real and you're going to be the butt of a joke. It was literally, it was just there in the contract, and it wasn't even a long contract like buried in fine print. It was like a core piece of the contract that just says, this is basically a fucking scam, and Dillon still signed it. It's baffling. So, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm just trying to give a general breakdown of the situation. Of course, the full CoffeeZilla video is going to be linked in the description. It's fucking beautiful per usual. I'm just going to show you some clips from it. But one other thing I want to point out is the reason CoffeeZilla went after Dillon Danis is because Dillon made a whole song and dance, a big hoopla about how bad he feels for everyone that got scammed by Logan Paul's Crypto Zoo. And that's what tipped everyone off to how many scams he himself has done, which led to this investigation in this video by CoffeeZilla, Oompaville, and ZachXBT. And it's a fucking amazing ride. It really is.
Dillon Danis is an MMA fighter famous for two things: cage fighting and not fighting KSI.
True.
But on December 23rd, he decided to be famous.
Also, apparently, I didn't know this until recently. He's not even famous for actually fighting. He's famous for just being a guy that, like, kind of rides Conor McGregor's dick. What's his actual fighting record? Because I said the same thing. I'm like, yeah, he actually fights. But his actual MMA record is 2-0. He has fought 2 times. Once in 2018 and once in 2019. Look at this shit. So he's not really a fighter. he's fought twice. Like, his whole claim to fame is, yeah, I'm a fucking stupid asshole. And that's it. And he won't even fight a YouTuber. 100% win rate, that is true. He is undefeated. But then again, so am I in MMA, to be fair. I am also undefeated. It's kind of meaningless when you don't have a whole lot of fights under your belt.
Calling out the scammers. He writes in a tweet, "Damn, Logan Paul is a scumbag. Feel bad for everyone he scammed." Now, of
Thanks,
course,
Dillon.
No one's gonna really disagree with this, so the likes rolled in. But what Dillon doesn't tell you is he also has a history of scamming people on Twitter And what Dylan didn't know is that there was a detective watching him. That detective was not me, actually. I wish it was me. It was my buddy Zach XBT on Twitter who
Whoa!
said, damn, Dylan Dennis is a scumbag.
Hey, this is all coming full circle. You might remember Zach from the BitBoy crypto thing. He was the guy that like tracked all of his moonshots and like called out a whole bunch of shit there.
So I reached back out to Zach and I said, hey, good tweet, but I want to find out how many scams exactly this guy has promoted. So Zach started digging through the garbage bin of deleted tweets, and we found out pretty quick there were a lot more.
What the fuck is it? Baby Dinger? What the fuck? Baby Dinger token is the next Shiba Inu. Oh man. If anyone has any baby dingers, you should immediately just lose the right to earn money in your life. You don't deserve it anymore. Ring dinger. Hey, let's not besmirch the good name of the ring dinger. That's as far from Web3 crypto as you get. That is literally an old man who snaps your head off.
I wanted to trick Dylan into giving me the amount. The rough idea was to approach
Smart.
Dylan and say, hey, I created this dumb NFT project that's completely fake. How much would it cost for you to promote it? He gives me an answer and I have my price. Who like looked like he would be serious about selling you an NFT collection. And that's when I thought of my buddy Oompaville.
Yes.
He's a guy who's actually really sweet in real life.
I did know Oompaville played a big role in this here. So that is exciting. Very smart. CoffeeZilla recognized that Dylan would certainly say no, knowing for sure that it's a honeypot if it was CoffeeZilla that reached out. So he used Oompaville, whom, I mean, that looks like a well-adjusted man to me. Like, that's a trustworthy face right there. So he used him as the proxy. That's genius.
We can provide all the marketing copy. Please let me know, as we're trying to launch relatively soon. That website is not a real crypto NFT platform. Nothing in this video is a crypto or real NFT, so
yeah,
you cannot buy
obviously,
crypto. I want to be
sure.
super clear, because Dylan immediately responds with, want to do a tweet? And then I love this next part. What is it? I like the order of that, you know, like, let's promote it. And then underneath it, what am I promoting? And it's at this point I realized that
it's secondary.
This is not only my chance to find out how much Dylan gets paid for all these scam promotions, it's also my chance to test Dylan Dennis. In fact, to do this, I basically copied almost word for word CryptoZoo's white paper, saying the following.
Baby.
Sour.gg may appear to solely function as an NFT collection, but it's much, much more. Sour allows users to earn sweet tokens that are openly traded via a yield that is based on the rarity of a given candy NFT.
I'm going to tell you right now, Coffee, I love the attention to detail here. I think that is super smart. I'm not convinced Dylan Dennis can read. I think he might be illiterate. So he just saw words on the page and he's like, man, this is legit. All these words, they have meaning, I have no doubt. I'm in. I am confident he had no fucking clue what anything in that white paper said. But I appreciate you went the extra mile and set it up that way for it.
Look out, adventurer. Now this is a sentence which means nothing unless you lay it out by the first letter of every word. And then it spells CoffeeZilla.
Oh!
So, don't say I didn't warn him. And obviously,
that's
even
way
if
too
I
smart for
hadn't warned
Dylan.
him, Dylan Dennis surely wouldn't promote a CryptoZoo project, right? Because he's, you know, he feels too bad for the victim. And then ETH? Question mark? And at this point, I'm just a little surprised by how easy this all is. Zero due diligence is
I'm not
being
surprised
done
at all.
here. We have created the weakest facade possible for an NFT scam, and he's just immediately on board. After we settled on that, he sent me payment information.
I am shocked he can even get 5K for a tweet. His Twitter isn't exactly what you'd call booming. The only time he gets engagement is when people are laughing at him. Like here, let me go to his Twitter real quick. Let's see, what's his most recent tweet? Because he deleted this one, I remember that. His most recent one is, if Alexander Volkanovsky beats... okay, it's a fight. I'll give one person who likes this tweet $1,500 and must be following to win. So he's actually having to do fucking... He has to farm. He has to do giveaway farming. But before that, it's literally nothing. And he got 8K likes on the farm. So even by those standards, that's pretty low. So I'm shocked that he's actually asking 5K. Though I doubt many people are actually giving it to him.
Dylan gave us a brand new crypto wallet just for this transaction.
Whoa!
Which seems to imply that he probably makes new wallets for every new deal he does, which is
definitely not
true.
his own idea.
And at this point, I realized I had a choice to make.
Someone told him to do that.
Take what I learned, present it to you guys, and stop this little charade I had with Dylan and make my video. And Dylan would just keep doing this because his fans wouldn't know.
Wait, what was that last one? Was that Face Writers? What the fuck? Did I read that correctly? Right before Baby Dinger.
And Dylan would just keep doing this.
Oh, I'm writing with Faceless. Gotcha. I thought that said Face Writers. I was like, damn, another fucking wild one.
Because his fans wouldn't know. Which is actually pay Dylan to post a link to our fake NFT project. But the twist would be, as soon as he posts that link, it will become a website dedicated to every scam tweet Dylan Dennis has ever done. And remember that this website would be linked by Dylan Dennis himself to all of his fans until he kept the tweet for certain periods of time. And to my surprise, he agreed to the terms. And
that's smart. That's super smart. Yeah, so space it out so that way you can get the most juice for the squeeze here off the tweet staying live. I can also promise you, Dylan Dennis has no idea what any of these words he's using here mean. He's used too much punctuation. There's 2 periods in there. That's far more than his reading level permits. He's got percentage sign in there, some underlines, parentheses. Dylan Dennis tapped out once he saw payment structure. He's like, all right, payment. I know that one. Okay, whatever else.
Website, which is just a website with all his previous transgressions. Now, I did talk to some
I want to read that one. What was that? I'm bullish on what? These all have the worst names. I'm bullish on Rock Smart Chain. Rocket Raccoon. Hype.
From ZachXBT. He found over 20 projects that Dylan promoted and then tried deleting, where many of them were rug pulls and scams. It was at this point
I drew up a contract for Dylan to sign before this whole thing goes live.
He didn't read it.
And in it, I lay the whole thing out. And this is what I meant by headwinds. This is where he probably will catch us. Because in black and white, I lay out our whole scheme right in front of him. So it literally says, like, you're going to be the butt of the joke. It says people aren't doing due diligence.
Oh,
it says that we're going to be switching the website to show his prior promotions. So we lay out the whole thing there.
Oh,
and
no.
What we're really banking on is he's not going to read any of this. He's just going to see money and just sign it, which is the 100% whole point of this entire thing.
He can't read it.
I think it fits.
Sending it. All right. And then I'm sending the drive link.
I mean, we've sent the contract now. We're just waiting. We're literally waiting.
Yeah. He's going to instantly respond with the sign. It's going to be less than 2 minutes.
Oh, I agree, bro. I agree.
It was 3 minutes. I was so fucking close. I was so close.
Idiot.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He agreed.
I was so
and
close.
You might notice that we weren't actually able to use DocuSign and get his signature because it was experiencing outages at the moment, the actual website. But we were able to just have him do a written agreement in DMs that he agreed to our terms. And although
that is real, by the way. If you get in writing something like that, that is actually an enforceable thing. It's not as strong as like a full signature, but that is like actually enforceable. So, what a fucking moron. Holy shit.
go ahead and tweet.
Just refreshing now, I guess. See what he says.
Run
There's
it.
so much work that goes into this. You guys didn't see this off camera. Dylan starts talking about where's your community. So we have to whip up this community from nowhere.
Oh, fuck.
Our community doesn't exist. We had to create a Twitter profile. We had to buy a bunch of botted followers.
An hour ago, it didn't exist.
I don't think I've ever been so excited about something in my life.
Nice.
Dude.
What was the total spend on this, I imagine?
He tweeted it.
Huge.
I can't believe he did it.
He actually did it. He just tweeted it.
What an idiot. What? I can't believe it. What can I say?
So I knew this tidbit of information real quick before he points it out. The actual tweet just has the word scam in it. Sour NFT candies are moonbound. Scam.
Believe
It's
it.
so adorable.
What can I say?
They couldn't have
promoted
made it
a
any more
tweet
clear.
Which literally spells out in first letters the word scam.
Yep.
I hope this is.
Oh man, Dylan. Now he's ducking CoffeeZilla and Oompaville's attempt to communicate just like he ducked KSI's fight. God damn. That's all he knows. Yeah, he'll never mention this, unfortunately. That's his modus operandi. He just is a fucking perpetual loser, I guess. Oh, I did see that. There was a lot of brain rot takes about how what CoffeeZilla did is actual entrapment. And I'm pretty sure those people are just as CTE riddled as Dylan Dennis to think that what CoffeeZilla did is anything even remotely associated with entrapment. It's not even close. CoffeeZilla did everything possible to let Dylan know what was going on. He even put in the fucking contract he agreed to that it is literally him just being a joke. It's not real. He laid out everything, and he still agreed to it. That couldn't be further from entrapment. The guy got 1K. He did get 1K. He did get $1,000 out of it, so that's a Dylan W, baby. Fucking big one from Dylan! But also lost rep. He had none to begin with. I legitimately don't think Dylan Dennis has a single fan. Like, actually not a single one. People just laugh at him. In fact, if you go to his goddamn giveaway tweet right now, people aren't even participating in the actual giveaway. They're just spamming the clown emoji. Jesus Christ. He can't even, like, actively farm children on Twitter. He doesn't have fans. We're only 9 days into 2023, and I feel like we've already reached a point where scams have become more common than the cold. I just can't believe that there are still people that are falling for crypto scams in particular. It has to be the same people just doing it over and over again and not learning their lesson. Like that bit from every cartoon ever where someone steps on a rake and it hits them in the face, they turn around and step on another rake and it hits them in the face. That's people with crypto scams and losing money. Just going back and forth, ping-ponging around, getting spit roasted by every shady crypto company ever until they're completely out of money and then blame it on something else besides themselves to avoid taking any level of accountability and responsibility for their reckless actions. The reason I'm talking about this isn't because of what you think it is. Of course, Logan Paul and Crypto0 is the biggest scam right now that's been exposed and has been being talked about by everyone, including me. But there have been a handful of other high-profile scams that have all come out, but they've all fallen into the cracks, into the shadows, because Crypto0's been kind of like this bullet sponge, taking all the heat for the others so that way they can die a quiet death without anyone discussing it or making a hoopla. But hoopla is my middle name, so I'm going to come in here and make a scene out of it. I'm going to shine a light on it because there's one in particular that I'd like to talk about today that I haven't really seen anyone go over. And this is once again an influencer-led crypto scam, but it goes bigger than just one project. This was multiple, and the creator came out and said that he gambled away all of the funds. He has a gambling addiction and all of the investors' money went to him gambling it. They say honesty is the best policy, and in this case I'm glad he came forward with that information. But man, you absolutely need to be held accountable for this shit. This was a high-profile, blatant scam where you mishandled every investor's money and everyone lost all of it. That's a crime. That's just like an actual financial crime. So we'll go over it from the top, but I gotta tell you, it really is incredible just how frequent these scams are now. It's worse than RuneScape right now. RuneScape has less scams than the real world at the moment. It's wild. Now, usually I like to think this goes without saying, but I'm going to make a special exception here and just say it anyway. Please don't go and harass this guy for all of this. He does need to be held accountable, but the right way by the right organizations, and the people that were actually affected, the victims, are the ones that should be coming forward to hold him accountable. Not just like a giant mob with pitchforks after him on Twitter or Twitch or whatever. I don't usually even bother giving this warning because I think there's a level of trust between us. You know, we're like family, only closer. Like, we're related by something far stronger than blood. Content. So, please don't harass this person. Just wanted to make that clear. Their name is DNP3. Now, I'm not familiar with DNP3, and I wasn't until this whole situation. From everything I can see, this is a streamer slash content creator whose entire brand was giveaways. He has over 600,000 followers on Twitter, 250k on Twitch, and over 100k on YouTube, so these are pretty big numbers, but it seems like they're heavily inflated because all he seems to do is giveaways, which is basically a real-world cheat code where you just, you know, hey, like, follow, retweet in order for a chance to win $100. Make sure to follow the stream and you might win $500, this and that. It's like a really fast growth strategy, but it doesn't have any real viewer retention or audience. people just treat you like a little money block in Mario where they can just keep jumping up and hitting coins out of it because you're frequently doing giveaways, but they're not really a fan of you. It's just people that are treating you like a giveaway fleshlight that they can fuck from time to time. So he used these giveaways to get these big numbers, which in turn conveys the idea that this person is more popular than they are and more trustworthy because bigger number, better person kind of mentality. So they use this to then platform these crypto coins, NFTs, these projects, and a lot of people bought into it, trusting that surely this guy's so well off he wouldn't be scamming us, which is a tale as old as time. People falling for that old idea. It's like my father always said, just because someone seems well off doesn't mean they won't suck a fart out of your butt. You can't be getting bewitched by this perceived popularity and think that they're automatically a trustworthy person. Now that I've kind of set the stage on who NDP3 is, let's see his statement on what he's done. It's a twit longer. It says, "I'm sorry. There's no easy way to deliver this news, and this is by far one of the toughest messages I've ever had to deliver in my life. Over the last year, I got incredibly addicted to gambling. Every dollar I could find, I would put into stake in hopes of winning big. More people have lost money on stake than they have in the fucking stock market, it seems. Even when the big wins did happen, it wasn't enough. Eventually I lost everything in addition to my own life savings. I also irresponsibly used investor funds to try and get my money back from the casino, which was wrong for so many reasons. To all my friends, family, and everyone who believed in me, I'm so deeply sorry. There aren't words to describe the level of shame and guilt I feel, and I can no longer live in this dark world, and this is my attempt to break free. I am now completely broke, both financially and spiritually. My sense of trust in myself is compromised. I'm working with a help group to start the path to recovery. I'll create a separate tweet which will have next steps for each of the projects I was involved in, including Clue, Xenia, Gridcraft, and Goobers." That sounds like a Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe kind of book title right there. Gridcraft and Goobers. Like, good lord. They're two separate projects. I can get into that in a little bit, but one's an NFT and the other's just another crypto cash grab. "I'm sorry that I betrayed your trust. I'm sorry that I did not live up to my values of integrity. I'm sorry that I let you all down. I'm sorry." The projects that he's listed here aren't small by any means. We're talking millions and millions of dollars that he gambled away. Now, I want to just go ahead and take a look at what I think is the biggest one, at least based on what I've seen, and that's KlueCoin. So I took a bit of a dive onto their website, and let's see what we got. And it is the most generic shitcoin imaginable, just unapologetic and shameless. This is probably copy and pasted from 1,000 other shitcoins websites. Together we can change the world. Yeah, I'm sure by purchasing these imaginary schmoobles, it'll all of a sudden change the world. It's just once again a cash grab, and there's DNP3 right there as the founder and CEO. Now, if you want to look at the graph, it's tragic, and it's as you'd expect. An absolutely colossal failure. Everyone's money lost. And DNP3 gambled all of it, most of it, I suppose. To me, even if he didn't gamble these funds, you were going to lose them anyway. It's a goddamn shitcoin. The inevitable fate of putting money into a shitcoin is that all of it vanishes as if it never existed in the first place. So I feel like no matter what, if you put money into any of these projects, it was going to go poof right down the shitter at some point anyway. It just so happened that the person behind it is even shadier than I would have ever expected, and he's just openly taking the mask off and letting you all know that he took your money and gambled it, and he's saying it right to your face. We can also trace back where the addiction started, it seems. Go back to the genesis. "Oh man, I used to watch all your streams and I really didn't notice your addiction. I thought it was just fun for you. Really sad to read these words. I hope you can find some clarity, dude. Stay in peace with yourself and your family." DNP3 responds saying, "Started with a sponsored stream and unleashed an addiction I never knew I had." That's very interesting. So it seems the patient zero to this disease happened to be a crypto casino itself that sponsored one of his streams and threw him deep into the rabbit hole of gambling addiction. It's crazy. These crypto casinos have claimed more souls than Shang Tsung. They really get their fangs in you, it seems. Because this is not the first story, far from it, from these new crypto casinos that are sprouting up everywhere. Gambling addiction is really popping off these days. It seems like as there's more access to this kind of shit, more people are getting hooked on it. Addiction in any of its forms is bad, but gambling addiction is a super serious and scary one. Now, having that kind of real addiction doesn't excuse anything DNP3 did here. Far from it. It's still very much his fault, his responsibility, but it is sad that he's been struggling with a gambling addiction. But it's even sadder for all the victims that he stole money from to gamble, the millions that he used to gamble. That's what's more sad than the addiction itself, is the people that were affected by it because of him. What really rubbed me the wrong way about his twit longer is he says all of these things and they're sad, and it seems like he's trying to farm a little sympathy, but at no point does he offer any kind of action to help people that have been affected by his reckless gambling. He doesn't have any plan to get their money back. He doesn't have any idea on what to do to help the victims be made whole again. And I think that's one of the most important components that he needs to address. Okay, so you fucked up, you've gambled all of their money away. Well, now what? How are you going to help all of the people that you've betrayed? So yeah, that's kind of where the story's at right now. This is a rather new development. It's only a few days old, so the story's still being written here. We'll see how everything keeps playing out. But yeah, just another awful scam situation. I'm hoping the investors get their money back somehow. I don't know how, but hoping that they get their funds returned in a giant refund or something. But anyway, just wanted to bring this up. That's about it. See ya. Yeah, I talked about this a couple days ago. So when I watched the speed stream, I got to see most of it as it unfolded. It was so wild. So Speed recently did an entire stream dedicated to shilling a crypto called Paradox Metaverse. It's embarrassing. It's the whole stream was a disaster. So it started with a PS5 giveaway. So you see all the PS5s behind him, and the whole thing with the giveaway is, you know, give it to the chat. Thanks for supporting Paradox Metaverse to the moon. And Speed would take out a sledgehammer and break the PS5s, which I think is terrible. I think it's a fat L. There's few things as corny as this, just breaking expensive things that people really want, especially in this context where it's kind of just spitting in the face of his fans who thought they had a chance at winning some PS5s. I sent it all to CoffeeZilla right before going live, so a couple hours before, and CoffeeZilla started researching it, and he made this video, he did the interview. It has been so entertaining to see, so now I'm excited to watch the video. I did see that he shouted me out in the comments here for tipping him off, and I got butterflies in my stomach. To be to something like this before CoffeeZilla is crazy. So, happy to help. I also did a ton of research on it. I went deep into the weeds. One of the people behind the crypto scam is a YouTuber named Money Kicks, whose dad is worth like 2.1 billion. So, I mean, it has so many layers. It's such an interesting little rabbit hole.
Advertising 10x to 100x, is that a get-rich-quick scheme? Yes or no?
No.
He did them so much credit there because talking to them was like hitting your head against a wall. So he'd ask them a point-blank question, and they do the standard circular talk around it forever. And no matter how many times Coffee would be like, yes or no, they'd still just go into their spiel about shit that is completely irrelevant to whatever they're saying. It was frustrating, but still overall entertaining.
Who couldn't play soccer and was wearing a Buy Paradox Crypto Coin t-shirt. And it quickly got worse.
Good.
The live chat started calling Paradox Coin a scam in the middle of this sponsored stream.
So I looked into this a little bit. This guy has made an entire career off looking like Cristiano Ronaldo. So he was in another YouTuber's video from a few years back called the Cristiano Ronaldo prank. And they just walked him around with security and got people's reactions.
A Buy Paradox Crypto Coin t-shirt. And it quickly got worse. The live chat started calling Paradox Coin a scam in the middle of this sponsored stream and called IShowSpeed a sellout, which caused him to get very angry.
The fact y'all ever make me, like, Chad, the fact that y'all just sticking me like that is just crazy. I hate that, bro. Y'all so weird, bro.
It's crazy.
He also tried to guilt trip the fans because there was a lot of donos coming through like that were like, this is a scam, Speed. You have to know this is a scam. And be like, why are you guys saying that? You're hurting my feelings. The fact you think of me like that makes me really upset. And you know I would never do that to you guys. It's just, you're making me really sad right now. Just guilt tripping them. He's like, I just want to see W's in the chat. No more L's. No more of that. Just W's in the chat. Only mods. Only W's. It was fucking embarrassing. Shameless. Now, yeah, it is important to remember Speed himself is a kid. He is 17, and people keep using that as an excuse. And I think to some level, that's fine, because he should have people around him that are able to sniff out scams like this. But Speed also clearly knew what he was doing. The audio in here that leaked because he didn't mute all of the mics so it got picked up pretty much confirms that he knew this was kind of shady shit to begin with. He is not 19. He says he's 19. He is 17. He was born in 2005. He is a minor. He is a kid. It is a meme that he says he's 19. We double-checked last night. He is born in 2005. He's 17. But his team around him is clearly not actually looking out for him, for allowing him to do shit like this and be used. I'd like to come in here and further clarify that I'm not saying everything that happened is excusable because he's a kid. He still, of course, bears the responsibility and at the end of the day has the final say in what he does and what he promotes. So he should be doing at least the bare minimum to have an understanding of what's going on and what he's actually promoting. Because even during the stream, he couldn't even remember the name of the company like twice. Which, of course, made the chat turn against him, saying things like sellout and I show scammer. So I do absolutely think that he needs to pay more attention to this kind of shit. And he also needs people around him on his team that are old enough to rent a car and actually have experience in life that can look at things like this, go through it, and then decide if it's legitimate or not, and then relay that information to him. Because right now, it doesn't seem like he has that team. From the look of things, he's got a bunch of people around him that just care about money, like Mr. Krabs here. So it leads to absolute catastrophes like this. And I do think that at the end of the day, Speed did get used here. He was exploited by this shady, shitty crypto company to shill their dog shit. But that doesn't mean that Speed is blameless in this situation here, even though he is a kid.
And that is the fact that all these teenagers and kids called this guy out. I mean, just think about it. The target of most crypto scams is gullible people. And who's more gullible than kids and teenagers? So when those people see right through your scam...
You know who's more gullible than kids and teenagers is adults who think they're early. I would wager the most gullible people on the planet are like the mid-20s people on the cusp of what they think is new technology or anything that will make them money. I think those are the most gullible people. You see that all the time from the crypto community. Hey, can someone recover my NFTs? I clicked on a link in my emails talking about minting new boof tokens. And now all of a sudden my whole NFT collection's gone. I think I got fished. Any help? Like, you never hear the end of that shit. I think they are much more gullible than kids. 100%.
The only problem is he forgot to fully mute the mic.
So what do I do now? Oh, they're spending LCM. Yeah,
Now, before we get to the rest of this audio of Speed exposing the scam, let's talk about Paradox Coin, the thing he's promoting. How do we know this is a scam anyways? Well, I checked out their website to learn more, where they call themselves the future of gaming.
To answer that question, how do we know this is a scam in the first place? I think every crypto project should be guilty until proven innocent. If any crypto startup comes around, you should assume it's a scam until they prove otherwise. That is the safest way of navigating the crypto space.
Is that they're not one thing. The Paradox Metaverse is actually 7 things, each one possibly dumber than the last. And I'm going to explain them. So first up is the Paradox game, which has graphics out of the PS2 era, which made me wonder why they'd be giving away PS5.
Fuck yeah.
Trying to make your games look worse by comparison. But it gets even crazier because I spoke to the founders and they called their game AAA quality. And I took issue with
It's pretty close. It is actually, this is up there with like the new Saints Row, Crackdown 3 maybe? Like it's not far off. Also, from what I was reading, they used a lot of stock assets. So and I don't know this for sure because I'm not familiar with all the stock assets available. But that would mean that they're not even like actually building it ground up or anything like that, or even trying. They're just asset flipping like the shit we play on Steam Bad Game Night. I'm not 100% sure on that though. I was just reading about it.
When you describe yourself as an indie game.
I don't interrupt you, but just give me.
You are interrupting me. Of course you are. You don't call yourself an indie game.
That shit got dank quick. Yeah, that's a lot of what happened in the live stream. They just immediately just start flooding like a Xbox Live party chat. Whenever he's trying to like call out something, they immediately just flood. So much, it's like a wall of noise.
A UK-based indie gaming studio, indie studio.
So yeah, I'm not buying this AAA.
Comments are turned off on that video, by the way. Nothing shows confidence in a project quite like turning off the feedback on the announcement in the trailer.
And once you do that, you have to wait 24 hours before starting another mission. I guess if you do that full time, they estimate you make $500 a week based on 4 hours a day of playing. Wait, I thought...
God, I love that. So the whole thing tries to prey on people, like, play to earn is the term. So you play our game and you earn money. So, like, yeah, you'll come in, you'll, you know, invest or whatever, but you're earning money through playing this game and doing our missions with our paracoins. But it's all just worthless nonsense dog shit. It's not real.
Playing. Wait, you can rent out your avatar to someone else for paracoins and passive income. Okay, so now you have paracoins, right? What are you gonna do with them? Well, you can sell them, but why sell them when you can lock them up and stake them for, get this, even more paracoins? If you do this, your paracoins turn into P-Save, which then you lock up for a period.
Fuck?
Sorry. The longer you lock up your money, the more you earn in a process they call delay and get paid. Sure, I guess.
Fuck?
Now, if you want to understand how this entire staking process works, their flowchart.
That's a head scratcher.
Even more confused. Here it is, and instead of explaining it, I'm going to label all of this Ponzi nonsense. This.
Well, let's not write it off too quickly. Let me take a peek here at the old flowchart. Staking process. Para used for P-Save. Para distributed. Para used in purchase for the staking protocol. Staking pool, which goes into the initial stake withdrawing from pool and getting rewarded with paracoins. And now your stake is complete. Easy. But now staking pool and the funds dip below 50. A conditional mint comes in. And then, what the fuck? It's all simple, honestly.
There's 7 more. So if you're not a gamer, they also give you other schemes you can get involved in. For example, there's the Paradox DAO, where you can stake PDAO coins to earn up to 10% a year in returns. And if that's not your thing, you can try the Paradox Pad, where they promise
so many options
to 100x multiples if you invest. Okay.
They made a bet here with CoffeeZilla, where they said they would change their name to CoffeeZilla if Paradox Meta didn't open to 20 to 30 bucks, and it opened to 10 cents. Here. So they didn't even get the full pump and dump. So this is where that bad girl kicked off. And here's their bet.
I'll make this deal with you right here, right now. I'll make this deal with you right here, right now.
Okay.
If our coin launches and it doesn't do a minimum 20 to 30 or... I will change my name to Coffee. Fucking, I don't even know what your channel's called. What's the channel called?
CoffeeZilla.
CoffeeZilla. I will change my name to CoffeeZilla. I'll make this deal.
Unfortunately, he didn't do it. He didn't change his fucking name. I haven't checked today, though. Maybe it did hit 20 bucks. Let's take a peek. It's now at 9 cents. I can't believe it. What? Man, I can't believe it didn't go to $20 or $30. Crazy. Criminal, even. Is nobody playing their game at the moment? It's the goddamn World of Warcraft killer on those battlegrounds.
Up to 20% on staking rewards, all right? Now, if all of that sounds dumb, you can even get your friends to invest too. Every person you get gets £5. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Now, the last one we're gonna cover is Paradox Events, which to realize is a waste of money.
This is the only way to get rich in 2022 without starting up a business from scratch. For every person that you refer to Amyotali University, you get £15.
Now, I confronted...
God, I hate that so fucking much. That it's one of my biggest gripes, those guru programs. and people for some reason buy in and then fight tooth and nail for them. You just train your own little warriors, your own little cult.
No, I think saying that this is the only way you're going to get rich is wrong.
People don't get rich on affiliate programs?
People don't make a living. It's not the
No.
only, you say I found the only way to get rich.
But also no.
Knowledge.
I would be so curious if there is anyone that has ever got rich from affiliate programs. I would be shocked. Like, not, obviously, at the top level, affiliate programs are great for the gurus. They make millions. I'm talking like a normal, just random person. Yes, I am a career affiliate promoter. I bring people to this goober's university for money. And now I own 5 Ferraris in this garage.
I'm doing a bit of businesses. We've done, alhamdulillah, we've done all right. Very good. We're just celebrating life in the sense,
life is step by step, thank
100%, 100%.
Wait, how's Money Kicks talking about life is step by step?
You don't understand,
What was
Coffee.
your step one? Being the son of a billionaire? What?
You
what
don't
was
get
your
it.
step
You just
two?
don't get
like
it.
At that point, is he just talking to people like, hey, have you tried step 1 yet? Now, this is the whole crew.
Yeah, he was just, again, born rich. Dad's a billionaire. Yeah, the video he's showing is this one as well. So Money Kicks posted this right before the speed stream. Oh my god, he took it down. Okay, unlucky. Okay, I guess I should have saved it. It was spending a day with a crypto billionaire and I show speed. That was the clip that he got it from. But it was a rough video. It was rough.
So that's just what it sounds like to me, and apparently to a lot of children and teenagers. So I think it's probably gonna flop. But now that you understand what Paradox is, it's time to go back to I Show Speed, trying to keep his chat from figuring out what's going on.
Oh, yeah. All right, so look. It's cool now. Relax, relax. Yo, relax. Why listen to the chat? You see no more scams. Trust me.
The microphone.
I know. I'm just trying to make. No. Bro, you know what I'm doing, bro.
Oof.
I'm not gonna say that, but then it's gonna be obvious, bro.
Yeah, I think it's a little too late for that.
Stop spamming. I'm not a scammer, bro. Why do you keep spamming? I'm not a scammer, dog. I made a little mistake, that I wish I never did, but I'm not a scammer, bro.
Now, at the very least, Speed apologized in the very next stream and looks like he cut ties with everything. So, this was pre-sale. They didn't go live on that day, I don't think. I think they went live yesterday. So, hopefully, no one in his audience lost any money on it. But what an absolutely reputational nuke he took there. Fucking bit a fat L, unfortunately. No one decided to do any level of thinking about that partnership there. But yeah, this Ronaldo impersonator moment was so special. It was so fucking good. They bring in the Ronaldo impersonator, play it off like the real Ronaldo, so they hyped it up for a long time. They're like, if we get enough Paradox Metaverse to the moon in the chat, we'll bring out something special. Go follow the Twitter, here's the Twitter, go follow it. And they got 2,000 followers. They're like, oh fuck, that just unlocked it. Turn around, Speed, close your eyes. We got a special surprise for you. Guess in the chat who it's gonna be. And then Paradox Metaverse to the moon. And they bring out fake Ronaldo. They bring out Chris Orlando here. And they all play it off like it's the real Ronaldo. And almost immediately in the chat, people are like, what the fuck? That's not Ronaldo. It was quite an obvious joke. Not to everybody, though. In fact, if you go on Twitter right now, Speed posted a picture with the impersonator. There are still so many of his fans that think he met the real Ronaldo, and they were reflecting on this stream, and like, it was great to see Ronaldo socialize with you like that, and he knows who you are because he did one of Speed's things. They're like, holy shit, Ronaldo actually knows who you are. So there are a lot of them that really believed it was the real deal. They were trolling. You like to think that, but I just don't believe it. You have to remember, a lot of his audience is kids as well. It's of course important to mention that during the stream they do eventually drop it and reveal it's not the real Ronaldo, it's an impersonator. It's not Cristiano Ronaldo, it's Christopher Rowland. But I think a lot of the kids only focused on the part that went viral, which was Speed's reaction to meeting Ronaldo where he's yelling and screaming and shit and hugging him. So a lot of them still to this day believe that he actually has met Ronaldo because of this moment. Why did he destroy the PS5s? He thought it'd be comedic? I don't know. That was bad. Like, even before all the crypto shit started, they led with the PS5 stuff and he was breaking it and immediately turned chat against him. I don't know why you'd ever do that. I hate that shit. That was a trend back in like 2009 or whatever, whenever the PS3 came out. Going to GameStop, midnight release for PS3 and breaking it. And it was always so fucking douchey. And it is still douchey to this day. Why? I don't know, man. They must have thought that it was a good joke. I don't watch a ton of Speed streams, I'll be the first to admit. I am familiar with him to some level, but it's just not my cup of tea. I'm sure most of you know I'm not really big into the really loud equals entertaining stuff. And that's mainly his brand, so it's just not for me. So I don't know what the breaking PS5s was for. Maybe because it makes a loud noise or it's destructive, shocking. I don't know. The fake Ronaldo came out on TikTok and said they specifically asked him not to say a word or they wouldn't pay him. This isn't what I was talking about.
What are you? Like, are you like Ronaldo brother? Like, chat, who is this guy?
And the resub Fuzzy and Abby and Phony. Yep, that's that whole situation. Pretty wacky stuff. This is going to come as a shock to all of you watching this, but I'm just going to go ahead and be brave and come out and say it here. I'm dropping my pants and showing you the truth. I don't know fuck all about the stock market. I have absolutely no knowledge about stocks or any of that financial shit over there. I'm basically just a little troglodyte playing in a cave with my Pokemon cards when it comes to like understanding stock trading and shit. Clueless on it. But this week has been so wild with GameStop stock, GME, AMC, BlackBerry, just so many stocks exploding and so many overnight millionaires from Wall Street Bets subreddit that I've been fascinated, blown away by it, and super happy to see it. I've been talking about it quite a bit on stream recently, twitch.tv/moistcritical, where you can get all the hot financial takes from the fucking experts. Stop by if you want to put a few more inches on your penis in your portfolio, I guess. I'm just kidding, I know fuck all about finances, but I've just been glued to the topic. I'm sure most of you watching already know what I'm talking about, at least the gist of it. Some of you are probably actually millionaires from it with how many people made so much money off these stocks. But in a nutshell, on the subreddit Wall Street Bets, the community there noticed that GameStop stock, GME, was shorted by a bunch of hedge funds, or at least a couple, and basically what they did is exploited that by having everyone on the subreddit buying so much GameStop stock that it just kept going up and up and up, reaching astronomical heights, going up to like $400-something, I think, yesterday. And by doing this, they were making so much money and hedge funds were losing billions. Not an exaggeration, literally billions. And I had the biggest smile on my face and the largest boner in my pants I've had in a long time. Seeing them whining and moaning, complaining about it like, oh, this needs to be regulated. We need laws to stop this from happening. They're hacking the system. It's incredible. And then the people on Twitter that for some reason suck the asshole of rich people thinking that maybe they'll give them some scraps or something. I really don't know why. But then seeing those Twitter warriors breaking down, we shouldn't be celebrating. We're taking money from these billionaires. That's terrible. Oh no, my heart's breaking now. Oh, you telling me this billionaire has to get rid of one of his yachts now? Oh no, gee whiz, fuck. Alright, I guess we should call the whole operation off. Like, man, it's been incredible. It has been so nice. Basically, what's been happening is exactly what hedge funds have been doing for years, but now all of a sudden it's a problem because the normal people are doing it. Internet people, college students, just normal average Joes instead of this rich elite douchebags, these corrupt evil people. Now it's a problem because they're the ones losing on it. I'm not your financial advisor, so I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of it, and I'm definitely not the one to really get in there. because I don't understand it all completely myself, but I just love what's been happening here. Now, I want to make it clear, I have $0 in any stock in the entire world. Like I said, I don't understand it, so I don't get into it. But man, I have just been here with my foam finger cheering on you Redditors for the last week or so. It has been so nice to see that. I've read stories about people whose lives have changed from these stocks, you know, having actual life-changing amounts of money coming into them because of this, which comes right out of the pocket of one of these fucking parasites at Wall Street. It's incredible. It was great. And I say was because it's in the past now, because what's happened is Robinhood, the most popular app for this free trading of the stocks here, has just all of a sudden, inexplicably, canceled the ability to buy GME, AMC, BlackBerry, all of the big stocks that Reddit and the people were looking at. They've just canceled the ability to buy new ones, and by doing so, the price is starting to tank, obviously. So what Robinhood has done is spit in the face of everyone that used their platform, and I truly hope that platform burns to the ground as a result. To betray the people like that so blatantly right to their face and be the little puppet that dances for the rich is pathetic. Let me take you back to the past for a moment. You remember when Robinhood said this? Oh man, the good old days of Robinhood, huh? And now Robinhood's corpse has just been skull-fucked here by Wall Street hedge funds. And even Robinhood, who was known for stealing from the rich to give to the poor, has turned its back to everyone and shown all of us its ass. And let me tell you, Robinhood, we didn't like how it smelt. I would be shocked if people used Robinhood after today. And in fact, I'm embarrassed that Robinhood was one of the sponsors for our podcast, the official podcast. I feel super bad for anyone that actually used it now, after seeing what this company's actually about. Absolutely shameful stuff here. To shut it down because people were finally starting to make money at the expense of the elite that have used them like fleshlights for years. Fucking pathetic that they're just going to stop that now. And let me just make this clear, Robinhood will never again be advertising with the official podcast. We are slamming the door in their face and telling them to get the fuck off of the lawn. Because this is shameful shit right here. It was so easy too. The name Robinhood was perfect. People were actually taking from the rich. And Robinhood, all they had to do was nothing. All they had to do was just fucking exist. Just sit there. Just tell people to take a vacation. Just evacuate the office. Just have nobody in there, do nothing for the week, let things play out, and this would have been a staple on everyone's phone for the next 30 years. Anyone that even had an iota of interest in stock trading, Robinhood would have been the main recommendation. If they had just not bent over and let the hedge funds fuck them in the ass and manipulate them. That's all they had to do, was just do nothing. And they couldn't do it because the corruption is so deep. Bunch of cowards, pussies, parasites, worms, man, it's sickening. Again, I had no investment in this financially, but I love to see people winning at the expense of people that deserve to lose. It's so frustrating that the corruption is so deep that they can just stop trading. They can just freeze it, halt it, give hedge funds every possible advantage to recover to the best of their ability when they shouldn't have that luxury. They should absolutely have to pay for this. Keep in mind, the hedge funds were betting against GameStop and tons of other stocks pretty much on a very shady ground, naked shorting, all kinds of terrible shady practices that haven't been enforced for years, and now they're finally getting payback. They're finally losing for betting against all of these companies, and now it's a problem because people are the ones making them lose. Pathetic. I can't express how upset I am at Robinhood in particular for this, because I did believe it was a good platform. I really did. And now I'm just eating my own ass on it. I'm just putting my own dick in my mouth here because it clearly is not. What this has shown everyone is that the system truly is rigged against you as an individual, the people, and instead favors the elite, the hedge fund, and shit like that. I'm sure things we all knew, but are seeing it clearly, and it's pretty scary. I think it's really upsetting stuff, and again, I just wanted to talk about it. I know there's other people that are like, this is market manipulation, oh, boo-hoo, oh no, my billionaires are being hurt by this. I completely disagree. This is literally just a collective of people saying, this stock looks good, let's all just buy it. And then it's like, oh wow, billionaires are losing money? I want to buy more now. Like, it's really not that deep. Now, if it was like the CEO of GameStop was telling people, look, we have a brand new business model coming out, it's going to make millions, invest now, that's insider trading, that's very different. If you want market manipulation, I think a textbook definition would be what Robinhood is doing. By shutting it down, they're making the price go down on the stocks. I think that's manipulating the market. They are completely restricting people's ability to buy it, which is driving the price down. Wouldn't that be like the textbook definition of market manipulation, instead of just a bunch of shit posters getting together and making money off the back of some evil people? But yeah, I'm no expert. It just seems a little fishy to me. I've got my Scooby-Doo super sniffer out and I'm sniffing a bit of a stinky smell from Robinhood here. I think that can't really be super legal if I had to guess, but hey, again, I'm not the professional here. All I can say is that, if nothing else, it's extremely scummy. And to try and spin it like you're still the good guy, like, we shut it down because we saw you guys were getting hurt. You were making too much money, your wallets were getting too fat, and it was making your joints hurt carrying around all that money, so we shut it down. No, we did it for you because it's volatile. You're welcome. Real heroes there, Robinhood. Really incredible stuff. So, yeah, just wanted to talk about this because the situation I've been monitoring extremely closely and learning a lot about this whole stock market universe out there, and it's some weird shit. But I couldn't be happier for all the people that have made tons of money off GME and the other stocks. I am super excited for all of you. And just one more big fuck you to Robinhood, of course. And also all the hedge funds breaking down right now and whining, oh, we need more regulation. Please, Dad, come save us. Oh, we're losing so much money, even though we've been exploiting the system very similarly for years. Please, we need regulation now. It's a problem. Holy shit. Please, oh, God, why? This is incredible stuff. Those tears taste delicious. Like the finest aged Chardonnay wine. Really incredible stuff. Huge hats off to Reddit for pulling this kind of shit off. I think this is a historic moment. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. So yeah, Twitter is a remarkable cesspool, but there's never a shortage of interesting things you can find on Twitter, and it pains me to admit, sometimes I'll just be glued to some shit going on Twitter. Today was one of those cases. So for those that don't know, for those lucky few that don't use Twitter, congratulations first of all, but second of all, you missed out on a fucking classic scam. So today, a lot of big celebrities' Twitter pages were hacked. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Barack Obama, all of the pages were hacked and posted the same message, which is right here. You know, it is send bitcoins to this wallet and I'll send double the amount of bitcoins back to you. This is a literal RuneScape scam. To anyone that grew up with RuneScape, you will immediately recognize this doubling scam. And it was pulled on the biggest possible stage. I genuinely couldn't believe how popular this was. I saw it when I was on the shitter, and I could feel my asshole smiling. I half expected to scroll down into the comments and see another post from the hackers saying, also, send all of your most expensive clothing to this address and we'll trim it for you for free. You know, just really commit to all the RuneScape scams. For those that don't know, I'm sure all of you know RuneScape scams like free armor trimming and the doubling scam. But the only people that usually fall for that is children, you know, like 14-year-old kids in their first journey into the RuneScape world where they go to the Grand Exchange and they see someone saying, hey, trade me gold and I'll give you double gold back. And as a kid, you trust everyone. You're like, oh, wow, mister, that sounds like a great idea, but just I want to be safe. So you trade them like a small amount, like 10K, and then the scammer has no problem just giving you 20K back and immediately earns your trust. It's like giving you a lollipop before you get into their van. Yeah, you just trusted like, oh, wow, they're legit. Okay, let me give them all of my bank money so I can double this real quick, and then they just take it and run. You know, because you don't recognize that, you know, not everyone's great. Sometimes people just want to fuck you in the mouth. And that's the case on RuneScape when it comes to doubling, and it was just pulled off in the real world to a remarkably successful degree. You can see the transactions that went to the wallet since they publicly posted the wallet. I cut it out in the video here. So if you check the wallet, they made $110,000 off these posts. These aren't children. Children don't have bitcoins. Kids don't even know what cryptocurrency is. They probably think it's just a TikTok dance or some shit. So these aren't kids that got scammed today. These are cryptocurrency hodlers. And I find it super surprising because a lot of people that got into cryptocurrency a couple years ago or even more recently act so intellectually superior to everyone else just because they followed a trend and bought some obscure coins off fucking Poloniex or some shit. Oh, is that paper money? Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with that if you're a Neanderthal. The mind of a simpleton. I truly don't think I'll ever understand it. You can keep your dollar bills. I'll stick with my Ripple and Globlin coins. It's cryptocurrency. You wouldn't know what that means. And then today, they just fell victim to the oldest scam in the book. It's fucking crazy. I'd never celebrate someone getting scammed, But how the fuck could you have possibly fallen for a doubling scam? Especially from the accounts of Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Barack Obama. How can you possibly think that people that wealthy would need you to send your Bitcoin into them so they could send double back? In what universe does that make any sense? On RuneScape, there's kind of an excuse. Because, I mean, you don't know who's on the other end of that keyboard. It really could just be someone looking to do a good deed or some shit. That does kind of happen on RuneScape from time to time. But here, why the fuck would billionaires be asking for the money up front in order to send it back? I just can't wrap my head around who could possibly fall for that. But people did. $110,000 worth of Bitcoin got sent to that fucking address in less than an hour. That's how many people fell for that. And if you look at the replies to it, you can see some really sad stuff. Some really upsetting things from actual people. You can see their account. It's real people saying things like, this is just what I needed. Thank you so much, Bill Gates. This is really going to mean the world. I don't have a whole lot of Bitcoin, but you know, doubling this really will just make such a huge impact for my life. And I really can't thank you enough, Bill. And then he sends that shit in, and obviously he's not getting anything back because you're just fucking paying a scammer. It's the same people that probably fall for telemarketing scams telling you that your computer has a fucking coronavirus on it or something. It's really surprising. And it's Twitter's fault. It's obviously Twitter's fault that this was even allowed to happen and that it persisted for as long as it did. It didn't last for longer than an hour, but even that, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. So I'd like this to serve as a nice little PSA for everyone watching. Don't take everything at face value. Just ask questions like, why would Bill Gates want to double my Bitcoin? And why would I need to pay him first? I think I'll just wait and see how this plays out. People, for some reason, jump at every opportunity and just take everything they see online at face value without doing even the slightest bit of research or, at the very least, thinking about it for more than 5 seconds. I feel like on the internet, everything's like instant gratification. You see something pop up and you have to like it right away. Or you see an opportunity and you have to just jump right on it. Send me your used panties right now and I'll send you $500. And then you go and buy a pair of panties or something to send in. You don't get the money back because obviously they're just huffing the panties for themselves. You just need to just stop taking everything at face value. I think a lot of people learned a very important lesson today, and it was a very expensive one too. It's a fucking shame, and I actually can't believe a doubling money scam just got pulled off in the real world. That's fucking wild. RuneScape economics actually do kind of translate to the real world, it seems. Fucking insane. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. That's about it. So yeah.